Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tiny Blue Games. My name, of course, is Seesaw Chris, and today we're talking about Guild Wars 2. Now, for those of you who do not know, Guild Wars 2 has released its new festival, the Lunar New Year. Now, this isn't actually a new festival. In fact, there's very little new about the festival, and that's something we're going to get into in a second. But the festival has just been added to the game this past Tuesday on Patch Day. Patch or news day. Tuesday is a big day for the gaming community in Guild Wars 2. We always look for something interesting to come up. And some of us had expected this festival. Some of us thought it would be a week later than it is. I probably thought it would be a week later as well. That being said, we're just happy to hear something or get something in terms of content, because it's actually been quite a while since we've gotten any kind of information from ArenaNet or content from ArenaNet. And, you know, to be fair, this is during their vacation, during Christmas holidays. I mean, we take our holidays. They should take holidays as well. It's just nice to also know what's coming up, if there will be new content coming soon, which is quite likely. We're all very anxious for Living Story season, or Living World, the next episode, which is the fourth one, I believe. As well as we know that there is a new raid that is got to be very close to being able to be released, that will hopefully be very exciting and progress the story in new ways. I mean, obviously kind of more of a side story as they sort of do, but was the first raid really a side story, or was it just sort of leading into the events of the personal story? There's much debate about this. Either way, I think we're all excited to see what is done in terms of content. But let's talk about the content that has been added to the game. So the Lunar New Year, this is another event that actually takes place mostly in Divinity's Reach, which to me almost makes it feel even more so like Winter's Day, which is kind of unfortunate. It's like, hey, you know, this same area of Divinity's Reach has just now got a new skin for a new holiday, and it's just going to be kind of similar with less activities. That being said, the activity that you get to play is maybe one of my favorite ones. But it does make it feel kind of similar, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. There's a lot of benefits when it comes to this holiday. For one, you get to make a lot of luck from the envelopes. If you haven't got Max Magic Find, this is definitely a holiday for you to start working on that. I mean, I'm not here to tell you that Magic Find actually does a whole lot for you or doesn't do a whole lot for you. If anything, it can be a placebo effect, which just makes your game play much more enjoyable. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's no problem with training your mind or fooling your mind to think things are luckier than they are. But that being said, it's a great time to really work on that if you haven't worked on it. And then if you do have top Magic Find or not really interested in Magic Find, it's also a great time to make money. I mean, that was the beauty with the Winter's Day event as well, is if you didn't really care about the event, you could just sell presents and make extra money. And that's not a problem for anyone, really, at least not for myself when I'm trying to make legendaries and that kind of stuff. So what does the actual event offer us? Well, not a whole lot more than other years. I've heard, and I'm not a big decorator myself, that there's only one new guild decoration coming into the game, which is kind of unfortunate considering they added a few more last year. That being said, they've been quite good in terms of decorations for a lot of the other events, so I'm not super upset about it. But that being said, I'm also not a decorator, like I said, so it's not a big point for me. In terms of actual skins and stuff, the Lunar New Year is the year of the rooster, so we've got a lot of stuff involving roosters. The backpack that, you know, traditionally has been in the game, I think last year it was the monkey, is now a rooster with two sort of dangly red orbs on it. And I don't know if you've been on Reddit, or I mean, you can probably put this together yourself, but you know, there's some sexual innuendo there with the rooster and the two dangly orbs. That has been pointed out on Reddit, and it's maybe a happy coincidence or maybe intended as a funny joke. Either way, you can get a very interesting back piece this season and really make your character look pretty cool. So yeah, that's a fun item. There is no new infusion, which, I mean, I don't know if we should expect a new infusion every single festival. That's probably pretty crazy and would make the game look crazy and just hideous if everyone had like 1 billion infusions on them. As you see, some people walk around with just tons of them and you can't even see their character anymore. But that being said, would it be cool to have a firework infusion? Yeah, it probably would. So I don't know how I feel about this one. It's always nice to have the infusion to make the items worth a lot more during the festival. For instance, the Winter's Day's presents were a lot more valuable than other years because they had that new infusion. I mean, and obviously you needed the drinks for the Winter's presents as well, but the new infusion did add a little bit of interest. And I guess with this festival, we don't have the infusion, but we do have the new backpacks, so maybe that'll be enough. And now on to the main things you can do during the event. Obviously, there's dailies, some of them much more interesting than others. I mean, you can open letters, you can shoot off fireworks. If you ever wanted just some XP bonuses and stuff, it's a pretty good time for that. I don't know who in the world needs actual XP in this game. Who doesn't have 1,000 levels just sitting in their bank? And that's actually a topic that we're going to discuss in a future video here that I'm working on. That XP has become quite pointless in this game for a lot of people, and that's kind of a serious issue, but that's not for this video. That being said, the big thing you can do is Dragon Ball, and that's what you've been watching in the back here. It's maybe one of my favorite mini games that you can do in Guild Wars 2 for a lot of reasons. Mostly it's just really fun to jump around this map. I don't know why, but I really, really enjoy the map. And if they were actually to use this map as a PvP thing, maybe like with and I know people hate Courtyard and hate how it was like a team deathmatch, but if there was a team deathmatch in like the sewers like this, I would be pretty excited about it. Like just with the jump pads and all the fun, like it would be definitely not in ranked unless they did some serious like beta testing and thinking about it. But as a like just fun map to add that wouldn't take much effort, I think it could be fun for non-ranked play in PvP. It's a really awesome map. That being said, maybe it makes it less special for the actual event that it's in, so, you might have a different opinion there. The event itself is really fun. It is a PvP style game where you shoot orbs at people and can get little power-ups throughout the map. I don't know if my recent time playing shooters has been making me better. It probably hasn't, since you don't really need to aim. But that being said, I do like to go into the sort of fake action combat mode they have in this game for this. It works really well as you're able to sort of aim with the little dot in the center of your screen there. There is some issues with this game mode, and the biggest one being that it is kind of a snowballing effect, where as one team sort of takes off at the start, they'll just sort of dominate throughout the rest of the game. In fact, the last game that you're watching right here is one of the closest games I've had in a while, and they're still beating us by a fair amount at this point. I never thought we'd win, but hey, it's not like we were getting just destroyed by it. And the reason it does turn into such a landslide, I think, is that when you wipe people, or in this game, you generally kill people sort of one by one, and then people kind of spawn back one by one. And there's a really big asset to being able to stick as a group and like focus fire someone down just really fast with your auto attacks. So that's really an issue. And there's not much, an individual player can do against a huge team of people. The really only thing you have is sort of the one skill, I think it's number 4, that gives you projectile reflection with like sort of like the elementalist skill of the whirling winds around you. Because if they do, rapid fire you and you put that down, they can sort of take themselves out, and that's a pretty good way to turn around the game. It's also important to note that there is healing orbs around the map, so do use those if you're being chased. Not that you can always get out of it, but hey, it's a fun game, and really for what it is, we're gonna play this for a couple weeks, and it's gonna be a lot of fun during it. I hop on and do some dailies with it, so I'm interested in some new content, and I'm happy about that. Maybe we'll get the backpack. But mostly, let's be honest, this is just filler, and I think there's going to be either an announcement about either the next Living World episode or the next raid really soon here, and I'm very excited to see what that is for either of them. And if they did it together, I don't even know what I'd do, but it would be a pretty big announcement for me. So I hope you guys are enjoying this new festival. I am. I'm hoping on making some new videos here as well that are more on, actual topics I really want to talk about in Guild Wars 2, as well as other games that I think should be talked about within the community. But until then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.